I'm proud to announce that the podcast is now officially sponsored by the fine people over at Chop Chili Company. Guys, this is some of the best chili you can get here in the state of New Mexico, and they are online as well as in stores. They can be found at Smith's, Albertsons, Sprouts, John Brooks, and Lowe's Corner Market. They have 3 amazing flavors that you see here, and they also have frozen green chili that you can get online. Go on over to the website, chopchilico.com, and get yourself some amazing chili today. Podcast is now officially sponsored by the amazing people over at High Desert Relief, a premier herbal destination right here in the state of New Mexico. They have extremely well-trained and knowledgeable staff that are more than happy to help you find what you're looking for or try something that you maybe have never thought of. They have 2 locations here in Albuquerque, 1 in Santa Fe. All 3 will be listed right here and in the description of this episode. All 3 offering legendary products at absolutely legendary prices, including this awesome merch that they were so kind enough to gift me here. All of this can be found at all 3 of their locations. Again, big thank you to the guys over at HDR for supporting. Now back to the episode. All right, what the fuck is up, everybody? We're gonna wait a little bit to see if anybody joins in the stream, and then I'm going to go live on the Instagram as well. As you have seen in the title, and as you've seen, I'm sure on the news, Biden dropped out today. So yeah, we're going to talk about that. I've been trying to go live here for a little bit. Just, life gets in the way. Things happen. So we're going to go live on Instagram real quick. And then we are going to get into this for a little bit. It's a fun Sunday to wake up to, huh? All right. We're live on Instagram. If the podcast sponsors happen to see this, I promise that I'm going to make new ad spots soon. I've been promising that for like 3 months. But I will do that eventually. Okay, Biden has dropped out. For anyone watching on Instagram, we are live on YouTube, or I am live on YouTube as well. Biden dropped out, and he officially endorsed Kamala Harris. That's kind of crazy for a lot of different reasons. This is all obviously breaking news. This is brand new. And I'll be looking all this up in real time. I don't want to spend too much time on this because there are a few more topics that I want to get to with you guys. So at about 12 today, I found out about it on Instagram. But at about 12 today, Biden announced that he is officially dropping out of the race. I would like to I'm trying to pull up Instagram so I can actually read his full statement. I don't want to paraphrase any of this, and I don't want to get any of it wrong. And then about 20 minutes after that, I want to say, he went and endorsed Kamala Harris to be his replacement to get the nomination in her stead. I think it should be important to note that neither one of them they haven't done the DNC yet, as far as I know. So there is no official. I don't think there's an official nominee yet. Okay, so I've got his official statement pulled up right now. What's up, everybody? It's in Instagram right now. What's up, everybody? All right, so today at 12 he releases this press statement. My fellow Americans, over the last 3.5 years, made great progress as a nation. Today, America is the strongest economy in the world. We've made historic investments in rebuilding our nation, lowering prescription drug costs for seniors, expanding affordable health care, record number of Americans. We provided critically needed care for 1 million veterans exposed to toxic substances. I can touch on that later because I've tried to get that health care and it's not working out. First gun safety law in 30 years. I don't know how real that is. Appointed the first African-American woman to Supreme Court and passed the most significant climate legislation in the history of the world. America has never been better positioned to lead than we are today. I know none of this could have been done without you, the American people. Together we overcame a once once-in-a-century pandemic and the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression. We protected and preserved our democracy, and we revitalized and strengthened our alliances around the world. Now, here, personally, is what I think is the most important part of this statement. It has been the greatest honor of my life to serve as your president, and while it has been my intention to seek re-election, I believe it is in the best interest of my party and the country for me to step down and focus on fulfilling my duties as president for the remainder of the term. I think that's the most important part. I'll get to that in a second. I will speak to the nation later this week in detail. For now, deepest gratitude to those who've worked hard. Kamala Harris, an extraordinary partner. And I believe today what I always have, nothing America can't do. When we do it together, we just have to remember we are the United States of America. I love that last part. All right, so personally, I think, I mean, not to be hyperbolic or anything, but I don't think he wrote this. I think he believes it, but I don't think he wrote it, the poor guy. Anybody who's seen me do stand-up knows I talk shit about both Trump and Biden in my set. But, you know, I really have felt bad for Biden for the last, like, year and a half. It's been bad. I mean, this is nothing new, but I've really felt like it's elder abuse at this point. He should have dropped out, or he should have announced that, like, he's not going to rerun anyway, and then, you know, hey, what's up, Kenny? What's up, dude? I think the most important part of his stepping down is when he says, where is it? It is, I want to read it verbatim. I believe it is in the best interest of my party and the country. Not to read between the lines that isn't there. Some people might say that, but shouldn't it, everything the president does, shouldn't that be in the best interest of the country and of the people? Shouldn't that be the sole, like, focus of being president is serving the people that elected you? I don't know. I think so. But even his script writers, you know, even his writers for his speeches put the party before the country. Like, I read that when this got sent to me this about an hour ago when it came out. And that's what immediately jumped out to me, was that they even put the party before the country in his release statement, or whatever you want to call it, his press statement. It's genuinely mind-blowing to me. And then soon after, so he posted that at 12. So at 12:10, at 50 minutes later, he officially endorses Kamala Harris for the nominee for the Democratic Party. There's a really good quote that I want to bring up in this, and I think it's important to remind ourselves of this. Never attribute to malice. I'm going to misquote the shit out of this probably, but never attribute to malice what can easily be attributed to stupidity or ignorance or something like that. You would think, not that the Democratic Party has an incredibly stacked lineup anyway right now, but you would think that they would pick someone that is unanimously loved by the Democratic Party and their constituents. You would think that they would pick someone that is fit to lead, you know, somebody that is, that would beat Donald Trump. Like, I'm not a Trump supporter, you know, I'm not that big of a Trump guy. I'm not a Biden supporter either. But it just in the context of I want to win the election, don't run Kamala Harris. And that's the reaction I'm seeing all over the internet right now, is nobody wants Kamala Harris. And it's evident through the way that they ran this that they ran this administration. They hid Kamala Harris
for the first like 2.5 years of it. You couldn't see her anywhere. Not that the vice president needs to be front and center anyway, but I mean, holy shit, people. Like, I genuinely don't understand it. People have been theorizing for a long time since it was, because Biden was already kind of on the way out cognitively during that first, like, they juiced him up like crazy for that 2020 debate. But he's kind of already been on his way out since. And people were theorizing, like, oh, are they going to bring in... Oh, excuse me. Are they going to bring in Gavin Newsom? Are they going to bring in Michelle Obama? Are they going to bring in... Are they going to bring in somebody else, right? And I think last week, Gavin Newsom had some polls ran, and he's not looking great. I think for the first time in a very long time, California has had the most... Like, they've had more people leaving this state than have come in. So their GDP is dropping like crazy. It's all guessing at this point. I'm very interested, admittedly very morbidly interested in what Biden's speech is going to be like in the coming week. I'd imagine it's going to be on Tuesday or Wednesday. I'll be genuinely shocked if it's tomorrow. Yeah, I agree. Oh, what's up, Mackenzie? Yeah, no, I agree. I think Kamala is cooked. I don't see a world where she steps on, like, I don't see a world where she steps on stage with Trump and debates. I don't see that happening. It might happen. I'm wrong all the time. So it could happen. And if that does happen, I don't see it going well. I don't see that going well for Kamala. I don't see that going well for the Democratic Party. I am genuinely interested to see what ends up happening with who they actually put forward. Because, I mean, what the shit? what the shit? I think, well, I'm going to get to this second point before I go to my third point. I think, how do I put this? I'm interested. I'm very interested to find out what is... Yeah, no, I want to see it too. I mean, because here's my thing, right? So, credit where it's due to Donald Trump. He was very reserved in comparison. Like, if you were to look at, like, 2016 Trump in those debates, and you look at him during the debate, that first one that happened about a month ago with Joe Biden, very different person, right? He's not snapping at them. He's not going back with the like the quick wit. Like, he's not telling Joe Biden that he's got a dog wife like he did to Ted Cruz. He's not calling him ugly like he did to Rand Paul. And then the obvious one, with the exception of the one-liner that he had where Biden literally lost his train of thought mid-sentence and had a senior moment, right? Except for that one moment where Biden or Trump was like, I don't know what he said there, and I don't think he knows what he said there at the end of his sentence. With the exception of that moment, he did not tear Biden down. Like, he didn't make fun of him. He didn't talk shit to him. You know, he kind of let him just do his thing and let the proof be in the pudding, as it were. But man, I don't think he's gonna go easy on Kamala, because that's like, what track record? Honestly speaking, like, I know there's not a lot of people watching the stream right now or watching the pod right now, but I'm interested to find out, like, what is gonna be the track record that's gonna justify Kamala Harris being suited for president outside of being the VP. And again, what I said a little bit earlier about don't attribute to malice what you can easily attribute to ignorance or stupidity. I hate to say this, but, like, we all understand now, and this is going to lead in my third point about having an honest conversation about politics in this country. I think we all understand now why they picked Kamala Harris to be VP. Right? There's a lot of conversation in this country about DEI and inclusion and checking these boxes, whether it's in media, entertainment, politics. That's why she was picked to be vice president. I mean, there's that legendary moment in the 2020 debates for the Democratic Party where Tulsi Gabbard just absolutely decimated Kamala Harris on her track record of, and I always fuck this up. I think she was a district attorney for California, where she just locked up a bunch of people on nonviolent drug crimes, specifically for marijuana, and then laughed about being asked, has she ever smoked marijuana, right? Or, you know, when there is a proven record of her holding back DNA evidence on people that would have gotten them out of prison, and I think for one guy, actually would have gotten him off of death row. That's ugly. That's horrible. I understand that the right-wing media is going to absolutely plaster that. If they're smart, they're going to plaster that all over their feeds if she gets the nomination. And rightfully so. Just like in the same way they're running, the left wing should be running all this shit about Trump. But I think at this point, we need to have an honest conversation. And by we, I think it's independent, the bigger independent media, like the bigger podcasts, the Tucker Carlsons, the Joe Rogans, the Patrick Bet-Davids. You know, they need to, not that they haven't already because they have been, but more people need to start paying attention and having an honest conversation with themselves and their friends and their family about who the fuck we're having as the leaders of the free world, effectively, right? Who's going to be our president? And, I mean, again, it's nothing new, but it shouldn't have been Trump or Biden anyway. It shouldn't have been. I really do believe that in a country of 300 million people, we can pick somebody better. We can fucking pick somebody better. That being said, I wonder how, if at all, this is going to affect the campaign of Robert Kennedy Jr., of Bobby Kennedy. I wonder if this is going to affect him at all. I wonder if there is going to be, like, whoever they're going to pick for the nominee of the Democratic Party. I wonder how it's going to affect his campaign. Reason being, the Trump assassination attempt. The amount of people that were trying to decide, do I pick Biden, do I pick Trump? Just the juxtaposition between, you know, Biden obviously on the decline. He can't get through a debate. He can't get through a 20-minute interview with George Stephanopoulos. He's running rallies and running campaign meetings after the debate, and he's fumbling those speeches. Juxtaposing that with Trump getting shot at, gets clipped in the ear, and his first moment of, like, showing the American people that I'm okay is he stands up with his fist pumping in the air, and he's saying, I thought he was yelling fuck you, but I guess he was yelling fight. I think fuck you is a better suited thing to be saying after you get shot at. But it's very interesting to see those two pinned together, and a lot of those people saw that and they moved towards Trump after the assassination attempt. But I wonder what happens now when they pick somebody new for the Democratic Party and they're like, oh, well, you know, what the fuck? like, do we vote independent now? Do we try that? Because obviously the Democratic Party's lying to us. They're not putting their best person forward that they even believe. Like, they don't even believe that they're the best person forward. Because, again, I want to refer to his statement of dropping out. He said, the best interest of my party first. Not the country, not the American people, the party first. To the one person in the Instagram live, I'm going to try to switch over to my personal Instagram, frankly, to see if that gets more engagement. If you want to hop over to that, thank you for sticking around. Let's see. Oh, we got like 15 people. That's cool, I guess. Let's see. I suck at Instagram. Biden drop out. Oh my god, I can't spell. All right. Okay, we're going live on my personal Instagram because, frankly, I'd like to see if this gets better engagement. I've never really gone live on my personal Instagram except for like doing stand up a long time ago, like last year. Oh man, I'm very interested to see what happens with the with RFK's candidacy and his campaign. Does this add any legitimacy to it? Does anybody look at that and they're like, oh shit, what do we do? Hey, we got more people in the personal Instagram. What's up, everybody? Doing a live podcast right now. I am live on YouTube as well on the OnlyKings podcast. Just switched over to this to see if we get more engagement, and we did. Look at that. Talking about Biden dropping out. What do you guys think about it? Do you think that Kamala actually gets the nomination? Does it work successfully? Personally, I don't think it does. Just a brief recap of what I've been talking about. I don't think Trump and Kamala on the stage doing a debate is going to be a good thing for the Democratic Party. I don't think it's going to be a good thing for Kamala Harris. And quite frankly, if there's anything about this situation that actually shocks me, it's the fact that Biden endorsed Kamala as someone that should get the nominee. Because again, I do want to refer back to his statement when he dropped out at the very end, where he mentions Kamala Harris. All he has to say about Kamala Harris is, I want to thank Kamala Harris for being an extraordinary partner in all this work. That is all he has to say about Kamala Harris. And then 10 minutes later, he endorses her for the nomination. It's like they forgot or some shit. Man, no, Biden already dropped out. That's what we're talking about. Yeah, okay, you would think so, right? So someone just commented, they may just think she might have a shot selling the first woman president, and you're right. That's the logical statement, right? That's the logical way to look at this. Is like, oh, she's going to be the first female African American president. This is a historic thing, and it is a historic thing for the nation, right? However, my counter argument to that is, okay, what happens then when she gets the nomination? Let's say she does, right? Let's say Kamala Harris gets the nomination. And then the Trump campaign, the right-wing media, Trump supporters in general, right? They start asking then, I don't even think they have to run a campaign. They easily can run a campaign on her track record of nonviolent drug offenses in the state of California and barring DNA evidence from people that would have gotten them out of prison. And I want someone to look this up and fact check me, but I believe, because frankly, it's going to take too much time to do it in real time. But, you know, withholding DNA evidence that would have kept people out of prison and potentially off of death row. Like, you know what, they could easily run that. However, I don't even think they have to do that. If I'm one of the staffers, if I'm one of the management people in Trump's party, right, in his setup, right, if I'm one of those people, I look at Kamala Harris, and I propose this to everybody who is a supporter of the Democratic Party. What I say is, show me her track record. Show me what she has done, not even before 2020, right? In the last 3.5 years, in the last 4 years, show me what Kamala Harris has done for this country, to support this country, that is notable. I would like to be proven wrong about that, because I don't know a ton about her policy as of late, because they just haven't been showing us her. And I don't understand. I don't understand the thought process of Kamala Harris outside of, oh, she's vice president, we have to do the right thing and hold up our end of the bargain. Because you know that's what they tell people. They just told that to J.D. Vance. You know they did. They were like, hey, listen, you know, you're the runner-up. Like, you're the guy. If the president can't do this anymore, the president steps down. If he's incapacitated, if he's killed, if the assassination attempt was real, you would have had to go up there and do it. So, oh, shit. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. And again, I'm interested. Let's see. Oh, thanks, man. Oh shit. Hey, what's up? Yeah, we were in basic together. What's up, dude? I hope you're doing well. I got out of the army recently, and quite frankly, I couldn't be happier about it. Oh shit. Yeah. So RFK. I was having this conversation very briefly this morning with a buddy of mine, and I am very interested to see if this affects his campaign, if at all, right? Because I know, like, you know, up until his candidacy, people, even still during his candidacy, people were like, oh, we don't really give a fuck with the independent candidate. Case in point, I bring up the independent candidate and two people drop out of the live. You know what I mean? Like, it's, nobody gives a single solitary shit about the independent candidate. However, how strained does our political situation have to get until people start looking at the independent candidate and be like, hey, maybe we try this option. Maybe we give this a go. Maybe we fucking, you know, maybe we try this. See what's up, people. Hey, what's up, Jake? And a bunch of other people. I can't tell because your Instagram names are really weird. What the fuck is up? Good to see you guys. Maybe this is the time, right? Maybe we start looking at, you know, an independent candidate with a more critical eye. And it's like, because I want to call back to a lot of the arguments for why Trump became the president in 2016 during that election. A lot of people voted for Trump, myself included. I'll be honest, I voted for Trump in 2016. Didn't vote for Biden in 2020. I went independent. But, you know, a lot of people voted for Biden because voted for Trump because he was different than Hillary Clinton. A lot of people just hated Hillary Clinton because of who she is as a person. And, fair enough, she's not a good person. But a lot of people looked at Trump and they're like, well, he's an outsider. He's not a politician. Maybe we can do something different. What if people start looking at the independent candidate that way? If not this election, the next election, where it's like, hey, that 2024 election was an absolute shit show. Let's say Trump wins, right? Let's say Trump wins this election, and it's like, hey, this was a shit show. We can't do this again. In 2020, unless something remarkable happens under the Trump administration that brings a lot of people over, which we'll see. But what if in the 2028 election, people are like, oh, well, what does the independent candidate have to say? What does the third party have to say? And we start looking at it that way. Again, I don't know. I also recognize, I want to say this. I also recognize that a lot of people are not as interested in politics. Not that I'm as well versed as I probably should be in politics, but not as people don't have like an intrinsic interest in it as much as I do. And a lot of people don't give a fuck. And people are like, well, my family votes Democrat and my family votes Republican, so I'm just going to have to do that, whatever. But I don't understand what's it going to take for people to be like, hey, this two-party system at a massive scale. Because we're all talking about it. We're all thinking about it. People think about it at a minimum. But it's like, what is it going to take to realize that this shit doesn't fucking work? It does not work. It's not working. This election cycle has been something out of a fucking movie. Like, what is it going to take? For real. I don't know. I've been following Robert Kennedy for a while. I'm interested to find out what he says in response to this. What the fuck is up, Christian? Holy shit. What's up, dude? Are you in Albuquerque? Because if so, we should get together and have a conversation. I'm very interested to hear your thoughts on this. See, that shows you how much I suck at Instagram Live. Is I didn't know you could fucking wave at people. That's hilarious. That's funny. Anyway. Fuck. So I just reloaded his page, Biden's page, and the statement is at a million likes. of him dropping out, and the Kamala endorsements at almost at 1 million as well. Oh, that sucks, dude. RFK did not say that the Earth was flat. Shut the fuck up. And if he did, that's hilarious. To have a flat earther running for president, that's hilarious. Yeah, who the fuck knows, man? Who knows what's gonna happen next? I'm very curious. Like I said, I say it over and over again because it's the only thing running through my head. Is I'm very curious and I'm morbidly interested to see what happens. This is, I mean, in the span of a week, we've had a president, a presidential candidate, a former president, currently the front runner, or formerly the president, about to be the probably gonna be the new president, right? The 2024 president-elect gets shot at and almost killed. And a week later, we have fucking Biden dropping out. What's next? You know, I don't know. We've been doing this for about 30 minutes now. All right, so the last thing I want to close out on, I was gonna go live about it, but just, you know, life happens. Is the Trump assassination. Oh, nice, dude. Enjoy Europe. That's sick. So the Trump assassination. So, attempt. I'm not the one that should be saying this. This is a well-accepted thing, I think, at this point. There were a lot of people in the wake of that on like Sunday, Monday into Tuesday that were saying that the assassination attempt was staged, that the shooter aimed directly at his ear and managed to clip his ear. Anybody who shot any kind of gun ever knows how fucking stupid of a statement that is. And there have been many animated like diagrams and CGI replacements. And there was one page, I'd love to be able to call them out, because I think everybody who is interested in how fucking lucky Trump was by not getting zipped that day should look at this video. All right, so it's off of Brandon Herrera. I have no idea who this guy is, but I just stumbled across his page, stumbled across his channel because of the assassination attempt. It's already at 3.5 million views, or 3.2 million views. And basically what they do is called Testing the Assassination Attempt of Donald Trump. And basically what they do is they show how specific of a shot it is to get that type of earshot. And you can't fucking do it with a piece of shit, because that kid was using a piece of shit AR-15 with a 0 magnification red dot sight. It's not fucking possible. It's not. It's not a thing. And for everyone on Instagram right now, I am live on YouTube, and I'm going to bring up, this is a really good thing to show. I'm going to bring this up on YouTube, on the YouTube, like, screen, because I think this is important. Let's see, YouTube capture. Oh, perfect. I love it. All right. So I'm going to bring this up on YouTube so that people can see it. And that's a perfect display right there. For anyone watching on YouTube, the red dot sight at that range, it's like 150 yards or whatever the fuck it was. It covers the head. Like, you can't fucking zoom in to the ear. Like, it's so, saying it sounds, it's so stupid. It's so fucking stupid. Yeah, I gotta get quick with it. But for everyone on YouTube, I want to kind of get to the point where they end up clipping his ear, and he does it at a very short range. For everyone watching on YouTube, when he does this shot, he's like 10 feet away. And it's an almost impossible shot to get, just to hit the ear. And it was genuinely because Trump has a habit of not standing fucking still. And that's why his life was, I mean, obviously it's an act, just because of my own personal beliefs, I do believe it was an act of God that he didn't get shot that day and killed, because the way, like, the bullet was going this way, but his head was turned when he was shot, didn't hit right here. Like, I brought this up on the podcast. I forget who I was talking to. It might have been with Jason. What's up, buddy? But he, I think people have this narrow view of, like, where the brain is in the head when it comes to shit like this. This isn't just a brain shot. Like, that is too. And he was facing this way, him turning that way, and the bullet clipping him. Like, come the fuck on. Yeah, I'm sure Grand Thumb did. I'm sure he did. He's a fucking legend. I'm bringing up Brandon Herrera right now because he did it as well. And they actually had a ballistic gel, like, head and shit when they did it. Let's see. I want to get to the point where he actually gets the ear pretty well. And the ear creates this massive ballistic cavity when it happens. Yeah, everyone on YouTube just saw it. It opens up like a fucking massive gauge, pretty much. Absolutely insane. So no, that shit wasn't fucking staged. And anyone who thinks it was is a moron. I'm sorry. Like, absolutely fucking stupid. Like, good friend of mine, good friend of the podcast, Robert Buck D. Gibson. He had a lot of people in his, because he had posted something about the assassination attempt. And he had a lot of people in his comment section saying, oh, I don't know, it looks staged to boost his numbers. Like, people need to understand that, like, Trump post-debate and pre-assassination attempts already had crazy numbers. He was already leading Biden by, like, 15, 18 points or some shit. Huge fucking gap there. He didn't need to get shot at. And the idea that anybody would be sitting in a presidential team and saying, hey, you know what we should do to boost our numbers? We should stage an assassination attempt. That is so fucking benign. Like, that is so... I don't even know if I use that word correctly, because I'm losing IQ points explaining how retarded that is. Like, how... in the most basic sense of the word retarded, how retarded that idea is. That they're gonna stage an assassination attempt to boost numbers. Like, ugh, it's incredible how dumb that is and how dumb people can be. What's up? What's up, everybody? Hey, I miss you too, dude. What's up? What the fuck is up, everybody? Yeah, so I guess my personal Instagram gets more engagement than Instagram. Than podcast Instagram. Good to know. Alright. So, man, I think that's really all I wanted to cover about this shit today. I don't think there's really anything else. It's very, like I said, it's going to be very interesting to see how this all plays out in the coming days when Biden makes his official statement. And it's going to be very interesting to see how all of this plays out with who the Democratic nominee is going to be and who the and how that debate's going to go. And because one thing I do want to bring up, actually. So the fucker from Florida, DeSantis. So DeSantis and Gavin Newsom had a debate that got a bit of news attention, but it kind of flew under the radar, like most things do. But they, hey, what's up, Nick? Yeah, fuck it. Run, Allison. Fuck it. At this point. But they had a debate between DeSantis and Gavin Newsom. And it was on Fox, I believe, and Hannity was the monitor. And this was like spoon-feeding a win to DeSantis, right? Just giving him a win. And there's a lot of people, and I think there's a decent-ish argument for it. There's a lot of people that are saying that even though, like, when I say spoon-feeding, I mean Hannity literally had the statistics on every subject, whether it was gun violence, whether it was drug overdoses, whether it was immigration, whatever the fuck they were talking about during that hour-long debate. Hannity had all of the statistics for DeSantis and presented it during the debate for him. But DeSantis is such a horrible speaker, at least in that moment, that Gavin Newsom was able to charm his way through that debate. So, I bring all this up to say, if it didn't have such dire consequences, at whatever scale dire consequences can be in this context, I would love to see a debate between Trump and Gavin Newsom. Because what Gavin Newsom has, I don't agree with pretty much anything that guy has done in the state of California. I don't agree with anything he's done. However, I would love to see him charm his way out of a debate with Trump. I'm very interested to see how he can do that, if he can do that, all that shit. Very interested to see what happens. For everyone still watching that's on the fucking Instagram, and if you're on YouTube, hit like and subscribe. But no, seriously, subscribe to the podcast. It helps a lot. Helps me fucking maintain all the shit that I've done. I'm doing it anyway, but you know, helps the channel grow, helps the podcast grow, helps the pod grow. Follow it on Instagram and all that shit. I've still got like 3 or 4 episodes I haven't released yet. New episodes still getting recorded as we speak. Yeah, thank you all for joining in and watching this. I'm very interested to see how this all plays out.